Hello everybody, it's Hackakura here. Welcome back to the channel. I decided instead of doing some juice shop, we were going to do some TryHackMe. I need a little change of pace, and it's going to give me some time to reorient for schedule and stuff like that for what I'm doing. I got to figure out how to study better or more efficiently with what I'm doing instead of spaghetti throwing, of which I am a master at. So I managed to redo my TryHackMe account and got it set over my one that I pay for. And I got it set over to Hakakura username and all that to try to get it for you. But you can see what I've already done. I've already completed the cybersecurity 101 and the pre-security, and I did the web fundamentals. And while I was doing that, it filled out automatically some of the courses. And my goal on here was to just take all of these, and I was going to do all the red team stuff and then head on in and start doing the blue team stuff too. I actually find blue team stuff a lot more interesting than I do red team. I almost like the red team stuff's fun and all, but the blue team, it's, I don't know. It just, attacking's easy. Defending is mildly a little bit more difficult. And then I got up here and I was doing the junior penetration tester, and this was around, where this one is, this offense. It was about 20%. And I got it up to 68 before I took my break. But I need to knock the rust off. And so I figured, just for to kind of backtrack, which necessarily isn't always good, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go to the web fundamentals section, and we are going to do this section 2, intro to web hacking, just because it's going to help us knock the rust off, and it covers most of the sections of stuff you're going to come across, and helpful things too. We don't need to go over DNS or HTTP in detail, or how websites work, or putting it all together. We don't need to do that, but we want to go over some of the vulnerabilities and the process. Anytime I'm going through this, I'm not claiming that doing Juice Shop or TryHackMe is going to make me a better hacker. I don't think that at all. But I do think that not focusing on necessarily what an IDOR is, but rather where IDORs occur, kind of what they look like in the real world, and the process and the mindset. Oftentimes what you'll do, let me see if I can, hold on, I need to minimize some windows. I downloaded a file from some YouTuber that I wanted to show you guys. It must be on my, yeah, it's on my external hard drive that I got. I'll show it to you guys another time. But basically what it was is, and I have many of these, I have a bunch of different versions. I actually have a checklist for each individual vulnerability, like IDOR, file inclusion, SSRF, and XSS here. Even these two. All of them, all of the main ones that you would get trained on throughout this. So I have, that is more what you're going after. You are systematically working through these. Oh, hold on, I can actually show you. OWASP. Here we are. I don't know if it'll bring it up. I had to look everywhere for, this is version 1.1. There's like a version 4. Oh, here it is. I had to look everywhere. 3 Google searches down. Oh, it's so difficult. This is why I suck. But you can download the PDF of this and it will tell you exactly what to do and the process to go through. At least for pen testing, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. It's a lot more difficult when you're doing bug bounty, because these guys, they're just going through and they're checking the boxes like, hey, does this vulnerability or the potential for it exist? Like, that's why when you go to HackerOne, right, and you go on these scopes, we'll just go over this real quick. For these opportunities, we'll just click on the first thing we see. Okay. And you scroll down and they usually have like a scope exclusions or a thing. Let me go back, because I know that they have them on the ones that I was looking at. Program type, go to VDP. Come on. But they will have certain things where they're like, hey, we don't care about this. Here it is right here. Right? So they list all the critical ones. Add a scope. Here we are. Add a scope. So a lot of this stuff is done by the pen testers, whether that's internal or the red teamers. And so when you guys are finding these things, like one of the ones that I commonly see is like a leaked API key is not like a valid finding. So when you're doing bug bounty, you actually have to provide like, hey, what's the impact of this? Like, okay, you found an XSS, but is that XSS able to affect other users and cause like a business impact or something? And so a lot of people too, that's why the report writing is so important, because if you're not able to convey that in a way where they go, oh, if I don't fix this right now, this business is going to lose money or whatever, or users or trust or whatever, then they might not, they'll, I've heard that they will give you a lower bounty in some instances. So it's really important to look through this, and you can come through here and go testing for SQL injection. I actually have, I downloaded something somewhere. I can't remember where. It took me forever to find, but it was like a zip file, and it came with a Microsoft, I can't remember, Excel. It came with an Excel style spreadsheet, the brand new testing guide in PDF form, and like something else. But this is like when you go and you're taking these web app hacking courses or these bug bounty courses. This is essentially what they're doing. They're just following this, right? Because unlike most industries, the regulation in the cybersecurity industry is less about the testing and more for the companies to adhere to. Like, so the the corporation has to provide these certain things in order, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you as a pen tester are regulated, except for, with the hacking laws or whatever. But like an example of this would be um, OSHA for the companies, so that way they can make sure that their workers are safe, not getting hurt. And then you have to go to an apprenticeship program, or not a program, but you have to go be an apprentice for a while for an electrician, and then test for your thing. Now that eventually, I would imagine that that is eventually going to be the case for pen testers and hackers too. I would bet money that at some point, one of these um, jerks in the tech industry is going to petition the government in some way, somehow, and they're going to make it to where you have to go through some quote unquote accredited program. And, and then that's where people like this, like, like TryHackMe will come in and, oh, we'll do it, that type of thing. So right now we live in kind of like a golden age for this type of stuff. When I was a kid, this stuff was illegal. Like, I mean, highly illegal. Even you doing it, people they'd get all bent out of shape. And then, because of the movies and some of the things that happened back in the day, and then, the internet was wild, very wild west. It is still in a lot of ways, but it's a very, very sanitized compared to what it used to be. And this stuff used to run rampant. And things like what you run into normally, like when you go to a, let's just do this. We'll go, what's that? What's that website? I know they're going to do it. All right. Optics Planet. So we're going to go here. And when we click on this website, I know I'm off on a tangent and everything like that, but when we click on this website, there's going to be a pop-up. And then there's going to be another pop-up. And then there's going to be another pop-up, right? Okay. Oh, I lied. Usually there's some big old pop-up like, oh, you have to, do this and, whatever. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you get to the page and it says, hey, if you want 10% off, give us your email. And then you exit out of that. And then when you exit out of that, it pops up a little thing that says sign in with Google. And then you exit out of that. And then you come down here and you start scrolling around. And then they're like, hey, accept our cookies and all that junk, right? So that's what I'm talking about. When I was when I was young, back when the internet first come out and it like became kind of like a normal thing that you could access. And this is like late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, it's like standard, like, and I mean, like for most people, because prior to that, it was just for certain groups of people. And then even prior to that, it was just for military and like universities and stuff. So, that used to be considered like, it was like you that would happen to you and you'd be like, oh, stupid hackers and all that. But we live in this age now where you're going to be you're able to do all of this. And they're not regulating necessarily the people that are doing that, which is going to come. Nah, I'm good. Thanks. I don't care about being popular. No, I don't. Not at all. I'm doing this to document my progress and my process and to maybe help people out. So, but I'm going to delete your comment since my automated stuff isn't getting you already. But anyway, so I'm going to restart the progress on this, even though I've gotten for this entire thing, I've gotten I've already got the certificate and all that. So, but we'll do this just to do the room. Yep, reset my progress. That's fine. I don't mind at all. So I got me a gigantic mug of coffee sitting in front of me. I haven't drank coffee in like a month. I like to take breaks from doing things like that. And I haven't drank coffee in a long time, but I was feeling extra tired this morning. So I poured. Normally, when I drink 2 cups of coffee, and I pour it into one gigantic mug. Okay. So this room is called Walking an Application, and it's actually one of the things, surprisingly, that I notice a lot of really high-level bug bounty hunters do. So what happens is, or what's happening right now, is the vast majority of bug bounty hunters are all running automated scanning tools that use templates that everybody uses. And they're even started using a lot of AI with their stuff as well. And there's a term that a lot of the bug bounty hunters use called low-hanging fruit. Well, I think that most people aren't even doing low-hanging fruit. They're getting fruit that fell on the ground and they're just picking it up. And so it's like those templates that everybody uses shakes the tree, and then the fruit falls on the ground, and then it's like a bum rush of all those people that are doing that, and they don't get past using just the tools. But this is like one of the most important things to know is for manual testing, right? So you view the source code, which you saw me do a little bit in the juice shop. And then actually the next day when I was doing bug bounty hunting off stream, this is one of the first things that I do when I go to a website is I will go and look at the source code. So we'll just go to, where are we going to go? Go to somewhere dumb. We'll go to Yahoo. So this is not considered hacking technically. It's not. Developers use this all the time, but you do right click and you go view page source, and then it gives you all of the stuff that's available. And you can see here how it's all set up to do this to obfuscate the code and make it more difficult for you to look at. But this is one of the first things that I do just because I like to take a look at the HTML and the everything in there, like all the JavaScript too, and get a look at kind of what's going on behind the scenes and see if there's anything that kind of stands out to me. Like I've said before a couple of times, I've actually found comments in the source code that lead me to go find other things. I found developer credentials and references to other things that are not visible. I found like just hidden things. And then the inspector is really good at, we can do it on here. That's this thing here. And this is sort of the same thing as looking at the source code, but it allows you to see, you can see how things are highlighting. So this tells you what you're looking at in particular when you're hovering over the different things. And what did it say? Inspector, the debugger. This has got a lot of useful information too. And the network, which is really good, so you can see what calls are being made and things like that. So this is a really, really useful walkthrough that TryHackMe put together, and we will have to see what we can do with it. So we're gonna go, all right, press the start machine button at the top of the thing. Where is it? On this task. There we go. Your VPN server is now automatically assigned based on your VM region. Oh, cool. You don't, I forgot about that, that you have to go through and set all that up. You used to have to go up here to your profile, and you'd have to download an open VPN file and then connect it to your account, so that way when you did do this it would do that. But that's really nice. That's an improvement. Very nice improvement. We are, so 13 seconds, and then it's going to show us our room. It's going to help me knock the rest off. After my abysmal dev stream the other day, which I still have, or not my dev stream, my Juice Shop part 2, I have to still have to upload that to YouTube. Okay, we are going to put this in its own window. We're going to move it over here, and we're going to do here. What? Do that. Why are you doing that to me? Huh. Okay, fine. Guess we'll put it back. I forgot what I was saying. Let's move on. Task 1, locking the application. Confirm that I've deployed it. Yep. And I've opened the website. Oh, and then they email you all the time, trying to get you to come back. Oh, that's what I was saying. It's going to help me knock the rust off. When I was doing that hack stream last time, I saved a web request from Burp Suite. I intentionally took the quotes off of it and spent like nearly 3 hours running a bunch of different word lists that I was like 100% certain would work. And I'm like, couldn't figure it out. As most things, it was self-induced. I ended up figuring it out after. And oh man, it just took a long time. But for me, that is mostly what happens to me. It's not that my payload is messed up. It's, I mean, well, it is, but you know, it's not that my payload's messed up. It's not that it's hanging up. It's not anything. 99.99999 times out of 100, it's because I missed a quote, a space, a capital letter, a letter in general. Like I have a really bad habit of not typing the L in my Gmail account when logging on to stuff. It's just, it happens. It's frustrating, but that's part of it too. And when I got off of there and I went to the course that I'm studying for the certification, and I started going through stuff, I was like, oh, okay, that's how you do. So it's not like I don't suck. I mean, I suck, but because I'm new and everything. But I don't mean like, I'm not learning it. Not learning it. It's just I didn't remember. So finding interactive portions of the website. Easy as spotting a login form. So this is just talking about the different areas up here, and we're at home. So it just shows that. See, TryHackMe.news, contacting customers. So it'll say this news. They have different ID equals 2. Oh, that might be something we have to get past. Does anybody know the site Medium? Yeah, they put things behind a paywall. That's annoying. You know what happened to me yesterday? So I was going to do an hour of hacking, right? And then I was going to do 3 hours, and I was hoping to get a lot of my some of my app coded up, so that way the next dev stream I'd have some code for you guys to look at. You wouldn't have to watch me fumble my way through. But I spent 5 hours trying to fix a discrepancy in these new packages because Ubuntu is having problems with that stuff. It was so annoying. And at the end of it, it was literally 2 commands that fixed it all. Oh man, I was so pissed. What happened is the lab that I was running, it is in a Docker container and it goes on localhost. But every time I typed in localhost into the browser to access it, it brought up an Apache server like start page. Yeah. So then after the start page, after I got like I deleted Apache completely. I deleted it, all its other files, and it was still popping up. Restart my system. I don't know what was going on. It was annoying me so hardcore. It was insane. Yeah. So, yep, we know about that. HTML, CSS. I didn't know about that, or I did, but I forgot about it. You can also just do this. View page source. So we'll just have to keep going between them. Acme IT support. We will view page source. And let's see if we can see anything of value. So this is the HTML, and the CSS is the styling. can see here that there's a secret page. So that's something we found. Oh, and we need a, so comments, start with that. Hidden link to a page with this. So it gives you the little bit of an answer. These guided walkthroughs are really awesome. But they also eventually start to become a little bit crippling because you know, they give you this this information, so it kind of, you know, puts you on the right track. Well, where is this guy? Okay, so we're looking for, what is the flag from the HTML comment? So we're looking for an HTML comment, which is this green stuff. We're looking for a flag for it. Comment. We have to go to the secret page. Control C. I'm gonna make this big, so Control V. Not a secret anymore. Control C. And I think that this is the flag from the secret link. Got the correct answer. We're so good. So what is the flag from the HTML comment? Were we on the right one? What did it tell us to do? It told us to go where? Viewing the page source of the home page. The Acme. Okay, maybe it's on another one. I'm gonna go here. Again. X out of that. We'll view page source again. I do not see any flags in the comments. There's this. That's not a comment. Going a little bit outside of what it is. Wonder if there's a SHA-384 decode. I don't think there is ability to do that. Maybe from like a rainbow table or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't have all of my stuff. Page source. Okay. You'll actually find this a lot in the bug bounty programs. You're going to go and you're going to see it's like made with like jQuery or whatever, and it will tell you there's a thing called WAPalizer that you can use, and it tells you all the versions of what you're using. And I have never not seen an up-to-date version of a framework be in use ever, which is really odd to me. I find that really, really odd. So, what is the flag from the HTML comment? I did not see a flag. The only other thing, do this, Control C. There's nothing here. Sometimes you'll see like stuff that you can click on. Only thing that I can think of is it might be something like this, but I genuinely don't think that you can. It's like it's a hash, right? It's not like base 64 or whatever. So, and this is the same thing. Let's see, because it's saying that stuff is clickable. Bootstrap. Is there any of these navigation links? Asset staff, secret page. We're gonna go inspect. No, we're gonna go inspect here. We're gonna see if we see anything in this. Not seeing it. Let's use the hint. So that's how we roll. First question. What's the hint? Make sure you go to the link mentioned in the comment. But sir, there is no link mentioned in the comment unless I missed it. Oh, I totally fucking did. See, that's the kind of dumb I am. If you're my kind of stupid, welcome. Glad you're here. Uh-huh. It's the little things that I miss. What is the directory listing flag? Directory listing flag. Go here. And we will have something. You're going to see me click on a lot of these. Try to access the URL or the static files. Oh, that's that assets one, isn't it? Where do we see that? That one. And we just drop, instead of putting the assets/staff PNG, just go to assets. Right? And then what are we looking for? What is the directory listing? Have one for us. Bootstrap flag. Valid directory permissions. Is this what happens? Don't ever take a break. Ever. Never, ever. What is the framework flag? Back here again. And the framework is either jQuery or the Bootstrap. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, we're not going to be able to find it there. And then yeah. What did that say? Framework flag. So let's go back to the source code because that's what we're talking about. Get back here. And this one. And link a new tab. That's not it. Where is the one? Oh. That's CSS right there. Defines like width and height and the color and the margins and all that stuff. So this, that. Oh, here it is. What is the framework? What are we? Oh. Okay. Is that where we were at? The assets. Was there a zip file? here somewhere. Mm-hmm. Guitars, PNG, bootstrap. Not there. Mm. Back to the hint. What did it say? Lab URL. So we're looking for a zip file. Find the file on the framework changelog page. What is the framework changelog page? So that is going to be in assets. If it's anywhere, and we'll have to look for the .zip file. Site.js. Nope. Not going to be on here. Still wouldn't think. We'll go Control F. Go star dot zip. No. Copy that. Where did I go? I did site. I think I did this. Trace not found. Found. Nope. Okay. That's nice. Okay. Line by line. Can't seem to locate the changelog. Is it? Because we could just try typing that up there. Oh. Uh, I was thinking it was in here because it said something about a .md file, right? And then that's also part of the reason why I checked the what text, and then why I followed that over to the staff portal to see, which it just all it said was, "Hey, congratulations, you found this," which I think that's for another task. Um, hmm. We gonna look at these. I'm pretty sure that we can see what these are. Let's go back to this and we'll read up again. We'll read over it again. We're missing something. It's probably stupid simple, like what we did when we were trying to find the HTML comment BS. Excuse me. Don't spill coffee all over your stuff. Just because it mentioned it. Hmm. Okay, what's this? Find the file on the framework changelog page. Why don't we just try searching for file.zip instead of star.zip? That might have been our problem. We're going to go to assets. We can type it, right? Control F. Arrays not found. Bootstrap.min. Not found. Flash.min. I don't think it's here either. Nope. And I don't think that they would call it file.zip. That is all that I see on that. Style, bootstrap. This is the only one that doesn't seem to have. That's another thing that you can do when you're having trouble, is you can look for that within the file itself. Like I said, 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing this, it is something absolutely, completely, and totally dumb. It is. Oh, man. Something that I miss. Assets. Secret page. Hold on. Is that the framework change log? She's been staring me in the face the whole time. Because this is a copy. Ah, holy shit. Yeah, I told you. I'm a special kind of special. Change log. Temp zip. I told you it wasn't a file. I knew that. Go back home. It's always that simple. So I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, oh, it's so much more, so much more complicated than it actually is. What? Um, I think that they would. All right. Maybe it's here. I don't want to have to. Not that I don't. I don't think that unreadable to the public. We will try going here. Admin. Just because I don't want. I don't think that they would have you. Oh, it would be good if I actually. I don't think that this is it. It might be. What the heck did that do to that? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's got to be for something else. All right, let me go look at this zip file that it downloaded for us. Well, it did include. Wow, that's new. Normally, so before when I was doing all this stuff, it never, ever had you uh, doing anything. Let me get all my stuff pop back up. Okay, we don't want you. Go back. Okay, IT support. We'll stay on where you at. Yeah, it never had you doing that. I think it does that just to fuck with. All right. Every modern web browser includes developer tools. News, 3 tips, inspecting. It's in here somewhere. Premium customer blocker. Hold on. Where did it tell us to go here? All right. Right clicking. Here. Okay, where'd that go? There it is. Not so hidden. Just type it in. Very nice. I know I could, instead of scrolling up, I could just hit the bottom button. But then it would have all these would be expanded. It bothers me. All right. This panel of developer tools is intended for debugging JavaScript. Yeah. Okay. So it wants us to go to the contact page and the debugger. Flash. Okay. I'll put this in pretty mode so it's all where we need it. Or it's more readable, excuse me. Okay. here, we scroll to the bottom. So we clicked on it. Here, flashed out remove. That one. Okay. Now we got to refresh the page. Catch me if you can. Oh, that's cool. It automatically enters the underlines for you. They've done a lot to improve this website pretty considerably. That used to be actually a thing. Sometimes you just jack up the typing of the flag or something, and it would really be a big deal. Oh, hey, they improved that too. So it used to be when you clicked on this, all the other stuff would stay open. And so when you got to the end, because what happens is this machine's running, right? And then you move on to the next room and this thing's still running, and then you're running and running and running. You get like bunches of machines. It bogs down their stuff and bogs down your stuff too. And so you'd have to scroll all the way through all of these expanded pages just to get back up here. That's cool. I'm glad they did that. It's Saturday, and I think that it might be pizza day. I have that feeling. Just a wee amount, not a whole lot, but enough. So, the network tab on the developer tools can be used to track every external request a web page makes. If you click on the network tab and then refresh the page, you'll see all the files that the page is requesting. Try doing so on the contact page. You can press the trash can icon to delete the list if it gets a bit overpopulated, which it do. Network. We're going to do this one. We'll reload it again. Hey, should be making it go to different things. So we can see all the stuff that it's doing. The request methods, whether it was successful or not. So we have the favicons not loading for some reason. All right. Okay. So we are. Oh, hold on. Do I have to take that breakpoint out and go to back to network and reload? So it gets out of our way. We are on the contact page. That's why you turn stuff off. Now, you guys are going to start emailing me lots. Okay. And contact form message. Ajax thing. Okay. Pressing the send button, you'll notice the event and the network tab. This is form being submitted in the background using Ajax. Okay. Examine the new entry on the network and view the page the data was sent to in order to reveal the flag. Down here, and we get the header flag. Copy. We'll type it in. What is going on with the copy and paste header flag? That's the right one, but it's not typing for us. Not typing for us good. What's going on here? Or is that to let you know? Let you know that you're getting it wrong. We'll do that again. I really wish that would do this. Inspect. We're going to do network, reload, go. And we're going to send the message. Contact form sent. Okay, we got this new thing. And then this is the request. Response. Ah. Oh my God. Yeah. I really dislike this stuff. This, like, oh, come get your streak and everything. Another thing, excuse me, another thing that's broken too. So I have a 7-day streak trophy, but not a 3-day. If I get 7 days, that means that I got 3. Or is it just like a separate thing? I don't know. Anyway. No, I'm not going to tell people. I need to tell everyone. I'm literally live streaming it. We are going to reset the progress in this one too. And we'll go to content discovery. Oh, hold on. Let's go. Learn. I want to go back to that so I can shut that thing off. It's our cleaning up the chat. I think I mean, it's given me some nice, start the machine. We're gonna have to wait for that. And it won't take that long, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Okay, I'm back. I tell you, sometimes the coffee. Well, I drink a buttload of coffee. I drink like, I don't know, like 6 cups of coffee just now, and I still have like another 3 left to drink. But you gotta be careful, man. That stuff will make you pee out of both ends. You know, you shit through a screen door at 50 paces and not touch a wire. All right. Yeah. Ask in the context of web app security, what is content? Files, videos, picture, backup, website feature. Yeah. All of it. Yeah. Like the robots.txt. Or that flag that I found by accident when I was in the console, or what do you call it? The inspector. So, oh, that's another thing that it did too. If you missed, like if you didn't, yeah, if you didn't get that correct, it would hit you for it. That was really annoying. I'm glad that they fixed a lot of this stuff. Osint. That's pretty cool. I like you see that there's a YouTube video you guys got to go watch. I can't remember what the thing is, but it's like a meme video, and it's some content creator girl. She goes outside and touches grass, and he's like, "This is your address." Oh, I love that. That shit is so funny. Oh man. Okay, we started the attack box. All right, start the attack box and the machine. So we started the machine. Now we need an attack box, and we are going to exit out of that because we terminated it. So you'll half screen when you want to half screen, but if I half screen you, you say log into mobile. Yeah. What is the directory? What was that directory? I can't remember. Watch it. Watch it. Also, it's going to bring up that Acme stuff or whatever too. While that's taking its time, I'm going to torture myself by looking at the Domino's website. Pizza. No, don't use my location. Leave me alone. Deals. See what you got. They have been for a while now doing this. No, you're not getting my location, bro. They have been for a while doing this deal where you get like $24.99 for 2 large pizzas and a 32 piece bread bite thing or whatever. And I tell you, this is a most excellent deal. Damn fine deal. Yep. Anyway, ooh, they still have it. That's what I will be getting. And in my opinion, a lot of people probably disagree with this, but the only true pizza on this earth is pepperoni pizza. Yeah. Now, I don't mind if other people get other pizza. I like other pizza too, like Hawaiian. I like getting that sometimes, but um, double pepperoni pizza when they actually put double the amount of pepperoni on it. Ah, chef's kiss. It's good. It's the best. So we know about robots.txt. We were doing that before, and it wants us to log into, or not log into, it wants us to open Firefox on their stuff and then go to this URL. staff portal. Very nice. All right. Yep. So the favicon, remember when we found that, it said 404 not found. Something going on with it. Those usually load, but it didn't. Sometimes, yep. So go there for the favicon database. On the attack box, open up there. Navigate to the URL. Copy. You gotta put this here so it can be used by the VM. Okay. Yep, it is using a favicon. Yeah. So it wants us to type this command into our command line. So we'll do a curl operation. And we get this. Okay. So we're going to go here on this one so we can have it hold up. And we'll do this. Where you at? Oh, that's why. I guess we won't. We'll pull it up. Wait, we'll detach. Detach. Here. Here. Come on. Sorry. We are looking for ending in F. F27. And it wants us to find this one. And then what does that belong to? Okay. So, where you at? Yep, they look the same. Sitemap. Unlike the robots.txt file, which restricts what search engine crawlers can look at, sitemap.xml gives you a list of every file the website owner wishes to be listed on a search. We are going to go check that. Okay. What is the path to the secret area that can be found? News article. We've seen that. Customer area. This is the one. Looking for S3CR3T. Correct answers. Yep. You can also use securityheaders.com. You can use. Do I have it on this? No, I don't. It's on my hack box. I have a dedicated box that I use for doing bug bounties, and that's one of the things. It's also in Burp Suite web requests as well. And apparently you can use curl and do it too. And I just realized that this whole ass time, I guess we need a terminal. The whole time I have been, see what that does. I've been doing this with no music. So let's turn some music on. And we'll listen to this. So at least you guys are some layers. Okay, what is this? Okay, it gives us all the information up here in the header. Yep. Agent Nginx 1.18. That's the flag, the X flag here. Here we are. Oh. Alright, once you've established the framework of the website, example, so here, then it's telling us to view the source all the way to the bottom. This site here, which we accessed beforehand when we were having trouble finding the change log. Next to go. And it wants us to view the documentation. Then we have this thing. Oh, that's right. What? Distribution portal. Hey. Come on. Oh, that's okay. Navigate. Copy. What am I doing wrong? HM frame log. Huh. What's going on? Let's see. Why don't we try to do it on this page? Since it's not working inside the VM. Okay, knock that off, would you? because I was able to access this from the previous room. I suppose that I could spell it properly. Yes, sir. Like I said, that is my number one flaw so far. See. You can actually find an incredibly insane amount of information. I think I did an OSINT room, like, so I got bored with doing the paths for a while. And so I was just bouncing around to different rooms inside TryHackMe, or modules, or whatever the heck they're called. Like this. This is a module, or is a room. And then a module has a bunch of different rooms. But I took one on the OSINT, and it was freaking cool. When we were finding like curated information. Still, it was really neat. There we go, Appleizer. This is the one I was telling you about. It shows all the technologies. I have it here. I don't. They gotta give me some easy wins sometime, or I'll never get one. Alright, folks, way back. I find this to be hit or miss. Like most things, it's probably because I'm not doing it right. That's usually how it works. I complicate the uncomplicated, incomplicated, not non-complicated, and I uncomplicate the simple, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're smelling what I'm stepping in here. The Wayback Machine. Yeah, it's historical archive. Didn't they? There was something that happened to it where didn't they like delete a bunch of this a while back? There was something that happened where it wasn't working. You weren't able to find all the information that you needed. What we're looking for. GitHub. Hold on. You doing out there, you mangy yellow mutt? Yeah. You're the okayest dog I've ever lived. It's true. No, don't touch me. You got something. What you do, you will kill. Get your dog. Cup. I want to roll over your paws with these wheels. Don't want to hurt you. Speaking of GitHub, one of the things I'm going to end up doing is creating a Git server on my server that I have. And when I do that, I'll make a video for you all while I do it, and so you can see. And I'm going to have that. I already set up my server. We had a power outage a while back, so I had to like reboot up my server and everything. And I just assigned it a static IP so it could be accessed, like it, because it was changing it like every time I was, every time we had stuff going on. And so I assigned it its own thing. And what I'll do is make a video of how to create your own local Git server so you don't have to use GitHub. And not necessarily, I mean, I don't have anything that's crazy that I don't want on GitHub or anything like that. But I would rather store my stuff locally myself, and then if I wanted to push it up to GitHub, for anybody else to use or see, I would do that then. But this is something that I don't even use this yet for bug bounty, even though there's a lot of good information on there. I haven't really done a deep dive. I like kind of the stuff like what we're doing now and looking at the source and the technologies and kind of what's there. And then there's that site that's called securityheaders.com. There's a bunch of them, CertSH. There's like 3 or 4 websites that are like that give you a bunch of different information. And then there's some tools that you can run too that like do web crawling stuff, and kind of like how they've been having us do some of these curl commands and things like that. So that's generally what I've done for my recon inside or for doing bug bounty. And then I've spent a lot of time, well, like I had said before, I need to find a new bug bounty target because the one that I had, they changed a bunch of stuff. And by a bunch of stuff, I don't mean like their website. I mean, they changed like what they allow and what they don't. They kind of closed it down a lot. And so I need to find a new target to do a deep dive in. But I had gotten to the point on that target where I started looking for individual bugs in areas and started logging and getting like all the cookies when you were logging in, or when you were anonymous, and how it assigned that to you, and how it was referencing the user, and all the calls that it was making back to the server and all that. So I hadn't even gotten to the point where I was starting to test for bugs, because I was just systematically going through, and I was doing this kind of like almost as I was learning. So I would do like this OSCENT part right here, and then I would go over to my target, and I would just like practice all the stuff that they did and they showed here, and I would do it over there. So, and again with the S3 buckets, which this is sort of still kind of like a semi sort of new thing, and so there's a lot of bugs with this, I know. And especially like they're moving to this AI stuff, a lot of that, there's been a lot of introduced bugs into the code because of that. And the AIs themselves, people are hacking those, which we did a little bit of that on the Juice Shop. There was one where you could make it crash, like not where it gives you up the code, but I got a trophy on there where it was like, you know, basically make it, you know, like kill the AI web bot thing that was on that virtual machine. There's also a bunch of stuff that you find like when you're doing, gosh, what tool was I running? I think it was Asset Finder or Amass. I can't remember which one of those tools I was running. But when you run those and you're doing like subdomain enumeration, which is this, like instead of like HTTPS, this thing, it's the domain in front of this, right? Not the slash, not like this thing right here. This is a directory. But you find a bunch of that stuff, of this type of stuff in there too, when you're going through. But the recon is important. Like it's so freaking important that like not like, that's why I keep saying like, you know, it doesn't really matter about the bugs or knowing how to do, like a lot of this stuff is kind of nearly irrelevant if you can't find it, which, you know, obviously have a hard time picking out those details and not noticing things. I mean, I notice them, but I'm overthinking. Like, oh, there's got to be something else that I'm not seeing. No, you're seeing it. You're just not putting two and two together. Okay. Also, I have saved on my hacking box a number of like vendor specific, like Amazon does. They have like AWS certifications that you can go get on their website. And it's really, really useful to look at go look at this information from the perspective of a developer and not a trying to I found a website yesterday. It's on my other profile, but I found a website the other day, or a YouTube video the other day, where it was something that it was a specific technology that I was looking at on one of the bug bounty targets that I found that was like how to implement it as a developer, and I saved the video because I thought it would be really useful to watch as opposed to watching this, because if you know kind of what people are looking at to try to get this stuff implemented in the real world, well, it's a lot easier to do that, or it's a lot more advantageous to know that information from their perspective, you know. Yep. That's also one of my criteria for looking up a bug bounty target is I try to find ones with the least amount of descriptions. I want preferably wild card, the gold standard classification that it gives, like on TryHackMe. There's other ones for that, like on other sites. I've been doing VDPs just because I don't really necessarily care. I want to find bugs, you know, and make the internet safer. I can get paid when I get a job or whatever, or when I start like it. So another thing, what happens is people find bugs on these websites, and then most of these websites use the same technology stacks and everything else. And so what people do is say that you found an SQLI on this Nexus Clips website up here. Well, then you would go to Canva, you would go to X, you would go to Twitch, you would go to this moderation website, you go to Kit, like everywhere. You go everywhere, and it would show you Gmail too. You go everywhere, and it would show you the you would test that SQLI on those places as well. And that's how a lot of people, like when you see these bug bounty hunters and they're like, oh, I earned $1 million. It's like, that's, they might have found like 1 or 2 or 3 bugs or something, and then they applied it to other websites too. Yep. Word lists, sec lists, we use that. I know about that. I have used FF, UF, and GoBuster. I've only used Derb in academic setting. Yep. -U tells you the URL and which word list to use. Oh. Oh. Oops. What's the directory beginning with Mo? It's monthly. Log file that was discovered. That's nice. Okay. So, subdomain enumeration. This is also taking you through the process too, right? Especially these first three things, right? So you want to gather as much information about the target as possible. And then somebody had asked me like what I'm not an expert. Obviously, you can see that I'm just a beginner. But I'm here to tell you, like, you guys do not need to waste your time doing a lot of this stuff. Like, you don't need, like, what I'm saying is, like, you don't need to go here and, okay, in order for me to be a hacker, I need to start here and then go here and then go here and then go here, right? Look for practical things. Like if I were to see, like, take this course, take this web fundamentals, right? It tells you how these websites work. Do this section like we're running through here. Do the burp suite, right? So you know a tool. Just run through it, get an overall view. The important thing is to learn the mindset and the process. Okay? When you do that, learn that mindset, you learn the process. That is what gets you in the ballpark. All of this stuff, like if you come across something you don't know, right? If you were intercepting a web request and you're like, oh man, I've never come across that, you can Google search that real quick. So you focus on finding the stuff is very important, because think of it like this. If you were on a military operation, prior to going and attacking a target or conducting a raid, you do recon. When you do recon, it's who's going into this compound, when did they come in, what are they carrying, what friends did they bring, what do they have to play with. If we went and we did something to them, how quick is their ability to respond? When they respond, what are they responding with? If we do something else, things like that. So you want to have that kind of mentality and thinking. This is kind of like what I'm doing when I'm doing these web applications. As I'm doing the content discovery and the walking the application and doing the subdomain enumeration, and then I don't know if it covers it in this, but I'm getting screenshots to see if things are alive. And as what I end up with is, if you go to this thing here, and one of the ones that I did this on just for practice, because I knew that it had such a large scope. See, yeah, I went on Pepsi's, because look at this. They have 85 wild cards. So my thinking process with this was that I'm going to get all of these, right? And it is going to give me a gigantic folder of subdomains to look at, right? And I was running this through tools, and then I was making those tools go into files. I was sorting and uniquing them. I was checking them against the scope to ensure that I wasn't out of scope. Anything that was out of scope, I took out, because at that point, like during this portion of it, you're not hacking anything, right, at all. And I mean, you do want to not run it against this stuff that's not in scope or whatever, but so if it says none of what they have here is out of scope, but a lot of times in these programs it'll say like you know, not in scope at all. Oh, I was looking for a spot. They do have, yeah. So this is just 100 of 216. See if they have any. No, they don't. So everything they give you is in scope, which is really nice. But they might tell you in these programs. Well, see, here's what I'm saying. Disclosure of API keys. Like, they don't care about third-party API keys. But what if you find something else? Anyway, so I did that to practice the recon on their stuff, because it was just so freaking insanely large. And when you do that, like when I did that, I started off with those 216 domains, and then like the first couple scans that I did, I think I had like a few thousand results, and by the end of it, I just had like 80 some odd results that ended up giving me a live, working, interesting, and subdomains that I could then further look into. So you did all that, you ran it through those automated tools to get your attack surface, and then once you got the attack surface, and then you narrowed it down to things that you could actually access and actually view, and then you went to those individual 85 sites that were good, and you started doing these things on it, right? Trying to look for like where are the vulnerabilities? How can I get in? What are the areas that I can do this for? And then like a lot of the sites, you create a profile, and then you start and you like loop back through this again, and then so it's just again and again and again. And I was doing that for the bug bounty program that got phased out, and I mean, I was finding all kinds of stuff that I was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure I can be getting through this. Fine. Okay, we're gonna reset the progress again. Yep. All right. So this will be like dev.tryhackme.com. www is a subdomain. Be things like that. Okay. TryHackMe. I very, very much dislike it when your shit is continuously in my face. I appreciate that I can make him snooze, but I want to make him fuck off my screen entirely. I want him, if I do something, I want him to go away. If I want his help, I'll ask him for it. Oh, come on. Oh, really? Yeah. So, Also, take that off. There should be like, if I filled all this out and hit enter one time or something, should no reason I gotta do bullshit. It irritates me so much. Anyway, yeah, I don't like the. It's just one more pop-up thing that they put on the screen to move around, distract you, and cause a bunch of frickin' problems. Also, eat up your bandwidth. There's two. Frickin' turds. Okay. Yeah, so SH, you will find an incredibly large amount of information on some of these sites like this. I actually, that is what made me learn about comma separated values, CSV files, was I think that you can, let's open this up. We'll just go percent. Since we're looking it up anyway, you know it's a public bug bounty program, so. And it's just recon, so it's not any kind of hacking or anything like that. Okay, you get an incredibly large amount of stuff here. Was it this one? Yeah, so you can get the CSV or the JSON. That's actually what made me learn that in Python, because I needed to download this in a CSV file and get all of this table's stuff. But you can see just an incredible amount of stuff, and a lot of it has nothing to do with Pepsi. And so when you go through and you can take out all of the stuff that has, you know, nothing to do with Pepsi in it. I saw one of those websites up top or up higher. But another thing too is some of the tools you use, they don't like having the stuff in front of it, you know? And then others you have, you know, if you like, you'll get results back that will say like a HTTP whatever, you know. Anyway, so that's what this site is. Gives you a bunch of information. All right, what domain was logged on? TryHackMe.com. I suppose we could have done advanced search stop. Advanced. Do we have a date? Now we'll just go through stuff. See, this leaked. We used that. I don't know why these guys. And what date are we looking for? 2020, December 26th. I suppose I would bet that if you type the TryHackMe in and put at, you saw when I came in here, there was that %. I did this. Pepsi. That means like all of the things. There's probably, I don't know what the little tags are. There was somebody else that had done that I was copying. But I don't know if there's probably like a search query thing that you can do. Search engines, yep. We already have that. What are we looking for? What is the TryHackMe subdomain beginning with S discovered using the above Google search? Suppose we should copy the whole thing and do the whole thing. Careers. So if you are you want to exclude things, you can go minus, and then when you do that, it should remove all those. So it removed all that, so then we're left with store, log. So it seems like store. So that's a way that you can start removing those to do some subdomain enumeration. And then why don't we just go ahead and go. So as we're doing this, we would be logging all of this information. See, there's assets, business. Also, you can look for files, and that's useful too. Do this. So that gets us everything. So when we did all that, this is all of the subdomains that Google could find for us. We'll go ahead. This. Let's see. Let's see. Business is all that's left. We only have 3 of them. 2. Cool. Brute force DNS. Enumeration. There's also a tool by Tom Nom Nom, and he's got a bunch of really good tools that I use, but one of them is a DNS tool he has. So what is the first subdomain? API. Sublister. Oh, yeah, that's another really good tool too. I really like Sublister as well. It's a good tool. I can't remember who made it, but I think that it's either an individual or it's Project Discovery that has it. They bought up, or they seem to have bought up a bunch of the rights to a bunch of tools that people use. I use one of those. I use VPNs and VMs and stuff that I run. Not for this, I'm just running this web browser. I do have one of those. Don't show my real location. So if you see anything like that, it's probably wrong. And if not, come fight me. Do it. I got the strongest judo chops. You'll see. Alright, sums of beans. We're gonna have to wait for this one to load up. I should have done that before. Like I said, I'm rusty. This should be one of the first things you do. Pro tip. Not so pro tip. When you get in here and you go to the first one, it has a start machine. Start the machine. And then it has a start the box here. And you start the box. And then by the time you get to something like this, it's already good to go. But I think I'm gonna, this weekend, I've been trying to dial in what I'm gonna be doing. People really seem to like the dev stuff. I would imagine they're gonna like it a lot less when they see me start writing code and make fun of me and all that. I really don't care. The fires of tutorial hell are still singeing me in the ass meat. So I kind of don't have any problems with people going, your code sucks. It's like, yeah, everybody's code sucks. That's why you can hack the heck out of it online. It's fun. But I'm like gonna kind of redo or rethink my approach, because when I started the last half of 2025, I was kind of like writing down what I would have wanted to do and what I thought was gonna end up happening when I was doing all this. And within the first week of me doing this, like the last week of 2025, I started like doing things a certain way, and then I changed what I was doing to match my close reality. Anyway, I'm gonna be doing that sort of thing again and readjusting. So that means that the streams will always be on Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays, because that's what my schedule allows for right now. But after, okay. Oh, hold on. Yes. 23.95. Because we're looking for status 200s. Anyway, so I'm going to change things around. I will probably do, because what I'm thinking, like when I'm not on stream, so Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, I generally will, in the morning, I will do like my bug bounty course refresher. And then in the evening, I do like a little bit of hacking, or afternoon and evening, I do a little bit of hacking. And then I've been getting on for gaming and stuff later during the day or later at night. So what I'm thinking about doing, instead of just like, I'm going to do like more focused stuff. So I'm going to get on there and I'm just going to do like the authorization and authentication section. Then I'm going to like start, I don't know, I'm going to like do something with that where I go and I practice it. Then when I do the live stream and we're doing the VMs or TryHackMe or whatever, we'll be doing that specific type of portion of stuff. And like you saw that there was the advanced web hacking and other stuff on there that you can do. There's rooms on here that are challenges that you can do too. So I'll try to find some of those and we'll do those portions of it. And so basically I'll get like a reinforcement or refresher, knock that rust off, get the workflow kind of down. And then when I go on stream, it's a little bit smoother for you guys to watch. So you're not, watching me trip over, watching me make, like, you'll see, I'm gonna upload that Juice Shop part 2, because I don't care. Like, this is straight up, like, you guys are watching me go from like beginner, and I'll get there, but you'll watch me get better. But right now, good Lord, right now I am not that good. I've got a lot of work to do to get up to speed. Now I am pretty good at like finding all like the recon and like finding all that. I have that workflow pretty good too, because it's the thing that I practice the most. So unfortunately I can't show you guys any kind of stuff regarding that. Terminate. I always forget to do that. Go to the next one. Okay, fine. But let me look at this. So this is the intermediate one. What does this have on? Okay. It's so weird because That's so weird. Okay, so like all the courses that I take, I mean, it is like back and forth all around, right? And some of these, like some of this stuff, for example, the course that I'm taking for the certification, if you go to Portswigger and you're going through the Web App Academy there are like the course that I'm taking says, oh, this is a beginner course. But when you go over to Portswigger, some of those topics that you cover and the things that they make you do, Portswigger says are like advanced or intermediate. And then you come on over here to TryHackMe and they either don't cover it at all or they cover it in a different way. This is the stuff that I don't like. Dealing with bytes and this cryptographic BS. And then see here, like this is important too. Like so I had studied this for like 6 months, and then I downloaded all these tools and got ready to get on all this stuff, and I was like, man, I'm gonna attack the crap out of some web applications, just go hog wild on it, right? And I decided, like, I was eating one day and I watched a video of Jay Haddix talking about WAFs, and something he mentioned in there made me step on the brakes like way fast. But he was talking about how he's like, if you guys run this stuff on these websites, there's a chance that if you're doing it wrong, you could actually get banned by your ISP, and basically you lose access to the internet. I was like, whoa, hold on. That's actually why I will never hack on a website that I actually use for a service. Like Amazon, I will not use their stuff because I'm so worried about like separating the traffic, because it all comes from, you know, your IP address regardless. And even if you're obfuscating that, they can still figure it out pretty easily. But I won't hack on Amazon because I have an Amazon, and I don't want to go on there and be like, oh, you're, you know, like have my hacking stuff be linked to my actual name and everything. I mean, it will be eventually if I get paid for it or whatever. If I found a bug and I got a bug bounty, I would actually start a separate bank account for that, just so I wouldn't have it, you know, I could have a degree of separation there. But that's more for like tax purposes or anything like that. Oh. Anyway. Subdomain enumeration? No. Authentication bypass. Okay. Like I said, start your box. Oh, come on. Start your machine. While that's going, we'll do this one more room and then I'll get off here. Then I'm gonna go get the pizza like I said, and then once I'm done getting the pizza and I eat that, probably most of it, I'll get back on here. We'll do some gaming too. Maybe I'll wait till later. I do want to upload some more of those videos. I just uploaded a 5-hour video this morning and it took an hour 15 minutes. So the other ones I have are 2 hours less or even less than that. See here. Oh, I forgot. I have to mute him for every single. Shut your pie hole, robot. You got time for shit? Okay, I'll be right back. Cheers. Okay. Okay. It's up. I have started the machine. It happened. Oh, the room's 100% complete. Well, then why did that say that I was 84% complete? What didn't I do? Okay. 100%. Content discovery. 100%. Subdomain. 100. Authentication. That's where we're at now. Oh, doesn't matter. I already have all the certification for it. It says you done did it. Yeah, that's fine. Terminate everything. So all that was for naught. Maybe, excuse me, we will just talk the last few minutes, even though it's what I've been doing. You're 0 points behind, so we're tied. Pretty awesome that they gamified this. I really like the TryHackMe website. It's great for these walkthroughs. I have not done very many of the things. You can see, according to them, I'm a mage. That's probably why I suck so bad, is I'm in that area where I've got exposure to all the information and I've practiced it sorta, but I'm like in the spot where I think I know more than I do. So we should do this while we're here, or for like a what do you call that, running live stream topic, road to Grandmaster. Then you'll have to call me. I'll make all of you call me Grandmaster Hakura. Yeah. Oh, let's see where. Oh, race conditions. What? Oh, okay, that's why. So this particular room is in. It's where I left off on this guy. So on this section, race conditions, I can't remember, why is it that I didn't do this one? This is kind of, it's not complicated, it's just like, there are some things that I'm like never ever going to even attempt. You know what I'm saying? And I say that now because of my understanding. It's like when I was, I'm learning like the syntax of Python or whatever. And it's like, I could not for the life of me wrap my head around. Let me open it up here because I'm doing it right now. So here is data structures and algorithms thing from W3 schools. When I first saw all of this, and it still is mildly, or pretty much, but I could not wrap my head around, like, why the heck is, like, how does this refer to this, and then it refers to down here, and why is this thing, like, because I, like, when you're going through it, it tells you, like, it executes from the top to the bottom. It's like, okay, well, how does this know that this exists when it's down here? And so it's just like all this stuff that I was trying to learn. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is I didn't really quite understand that. I got a lot better grasp on it than I did. I still don't quite fully understand the object-oriented stuff. I need to practice it a lot more in order to kind of understand. So that's what I'm talking about, stuff like that. But this is one of those things where it's like, what is that? It's not race conditions. Buffer overflow. Like right now at my level, I'm not even going to attempt to even look for or try or anything buffer overflow at all. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can't find, which there's everywhere, there's ways. If I can't find an XSS, right? Or I can't do an SQL injection or command injection or any kind of authentication bypass or IDOR or file. Like if I can't do any of that, I am definitely not going to try to, you know, do that. Like the thing is with a lot of this stuff is what I've noticed is that they just try to obfuscate a lot of this. There's no real like a lot of it, they don't fix it. They don't fix the underlying bug. They just make it to where it's more difficult. Like they put a wall in your way. It's like if you're sitting there and you're watching an ant walk around on the ground and then you put like a stick in front of him and he goes and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna have to go around the stick or up and over it or whatever. It's the same sort of thing. So see, this is the stuff that I don't like. It's like that's all well and good, but I don't think so. Really? So you're telling me, okay, here I am now. I've completed these sections, right? Completed this section. I get and I do these other sections here. That's another thing too. I did an entire Nmap course where it covered all of this, and it didn't detect. Maybe it was from there was another course that I took that was like pre-security. It's like pre-security. There was another version of this. There's another version of this Cybersecurity 101. It was like this before they phased it out. They did that like at the beginning of last year. But anyway, like you're sitting here telling me, okay, dude, if you do this and then you pass this certification, you're gonna get a job. I'm calling bullshit on that. Straight up. I am. Now I believe that it's becoming industry recognized. That makes sense. You know, and just as an aside, like people don't realize how important some of this stuff is. Like, because there was such a heavy embargo on a lot of this stuff from all these frickin' boomers who don't understand technology, right? And they got really, really hardcore with it, especially in the early 90s and the 2000s. But we started getting our butts kicked by China when they don't have those restrictions. And there's a national security component that goes along with that, you know. And I think a lot of tech people, they just, and regular people in general, and especially like I said this before, but you see a lot of these gamer dudes. I can't remember what this guy's name is. I want to look for him. He's got a good stuff. Is it Legendary Drops? Is it this guy? Yep, this dude right here. This soy-wristed motherfucker. Listen here, dude. You want to know one thing that I never hear you talking about when you're talking about how AI is going to take over everything and, oh, the GPU prices and the RAM. You don't know what you don't know, bro. And what you don't know is that there's a national security component to this. No one gives a fuck that you can't buy your gaming PC or your RAM when we might not have a country. And that's the justification that they're going to use. That's not me believing that or whatever. But that is something that is very, very serious that I don't see these guys talking about. And it's kind of really, really annoying when they're not talking about that. But that is very important for you guys to understand. And this goes along with the AI thing too. Everybody's like, oh, the AI is unethical. It's like, yeah, it is. But you know what? You know who's not concerning themselves with that? The people that are going to steal that data anyways, our adversaries overseas, our allies overseas too. You'd be surprised at how many European countries involve themselves in doing a lot of that against us as well. So there's this national security component to a lot of this stuff that a lot of these guys are, and media companies and people that are kind of playing off each other are not mentioning. And I find it really, really annoying because those same people are always talking about, what's that term? They're talking about like news places propagandizing people or lying to them. It's like, yeah, but you guys, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know what you don't know, and you're not speaking about it. And so it's kind of nearly a lie by omission. Now, I really like that. Like, I point that guy out. I was saying all that stuff. That guy's great. I watch a lot of his videos about games and everything like that. But on those particular topics, a lot of these little nerds, they don't know that about the industry and about the things that are going on. And, you know, it's been announced. It's been announced like that this is the reason why some of these things are happening. And I don't know if they miss it or they're not talking about it intentionally or whatever, but straight up, like, it really sucks that those guys are not mentioning that, because it puts it into perspective. And let me use this as World War II metal rationing, right? From civilian goods to the war effort, right? But not only that, but they also, not only did they do that, but they also, in some instances, went around and started confiscating people's metal. And I mentioned this before, my grandfather, he had like a bunch of tractors and stuff, and he was doing logging, things like that. In this day and age, if that were to happen again with those materials, I would be not surprised at all if someone came down the driveway and said, "Hey, that's ours now. Here's your pay for the metal," or whatever, you know, because they can print money. But that's a thing that nobody realizes. So if you don't think that they're gonna have things like that, if you don't think that they're gonna have things like that during this next war that we're getting ready to fight, which we are, and on that too, I'll say this: your enemy gets a say. And I'll use this example. If two people are sitting there and one person says, "I want to fight," and the other person says no, but the person that wants to fight is going to do it anyways, then your enemy gets a say. You have to, or run, or whatever. You know, sometimes there's no options but to fight. Now, if you look at all the things going on in the world, I would say that we are in a fight right now. And just if you're, you know, you're out here, you're an American citizen, or American U.S. citizen, keep that in mind. You are going to be the last person that knows, because you're so ill-informed about what's going on around you, and you live in a bubble, no matter who you are. So just keep that in mind, that there are other aspects to this stuff that's going on that you're not going to know. You're just not going to know about this stuff because it's kept from you, or it's not presented to you in a way that, you know, and part of that is they don't want to freak people out. They don't want people needlessly getting worked up over nothing. We have enough problems like that already, but it's not going to make it. It would just make things worse. But keep that in mind when they're talking about these RAM shortages, these GPU shortages, and the AI stuff. If we do not act in the same manner as our enemies do in regards to certain things, then we will literally cede ground, like give up ground to them in the war that we're going, the war that's to come, and that's not acceptable. You know, neither is the war hashing out. But I ask you, how much control do you think that you've had over a say about whether these things happen or not? Which is unfortunate given the, you know, the country we live in. But just keep that in mind as we go forward through these things and what's going on. I think that that's something that's missed out on a lot, and a lot of people don't know that because so few people have served and done things that hold that up, that it's almost like nearly proprietary information, or you have to be in the know, and you definitely can't trust what you're being told. And take what I say with a grain of salt too, okay? I'm not an expert. I don't know for a fact or for real, but this is just the observations that I see from some of the things that they're saying. And I just want people to be aware of it, because it really irritates me when I see people like that guy I brought up sitting there running their faces about this, and then they don't even mention that that's a thing. And that is the why they're doing it. But if we bring back manufacturing over here, which we should, especially for these things that require that, you might end up, yeah, it's going to suck for a bit. But if they can get those chip manufacturing plants back over here, well, then you'll have cheaper prices than we do now, or we did before. I doubt it, you know how companies are, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's a chance. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go get some pizza, go get some food. I'll be back on to do more gaming stuff later. I don't know what game we'll play. We'll probably play Mega Bonk or Conquest Dark or something like that. I'm not real sure. Hopefully we can have some fun. Thanks for joining me. I know it's hard, it's difficult to watch. I probably suck to listen to and everything like that, but I appreciate you being here, pointing and laughing, lurking, staying quiet, whatever you're doing. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're listening. Maybe you join alongside me we're hacking together. I don't know if we are. Thanks, friends. I appreciate it. It's always good to have friends. All right. This is Hakakura. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever, wherever the platforms are, all the things. Thank you. See you in a bit.